Okay, I'm going to talk about creating a general arrangement drawing. If I take the UVJ as an example, I have a side elevation view there. I would suggest, I'll just rotate it around, this is from the assembly, and it's not a component drawing. So I'm going to press the space bar and I'm just going to go and use that side elevation. I will then go up to File and I will come down and it says make drawing from assembly. So I'm going to click on it, and if by magic this appears for it, which is kind of default drawing template. Now you can do your own drawing templates. I can show you next semester how to do that, but for now you might as well use the standard. I would suggest an A3 ISO. If you wanted to look at other ones, you go to the Browse tab and you've got a load of ones there, but the ISO is fine for now. So I'll just cancel that, go back to that and give it an OK. Just check there that your width is 420 by 297, that is A3 size. A4, if I click on the A4, you see it changes 210 by 297. A2, there. It really depends on what format or what size templates are appropriate for the drawing itself. You must remember, never ever do a drawing to a scale. Always draw 1:1 on that. I'll explain that in a second a little bit clearer. So I'm just going to press the OK, and then what comes up here, what should come up on my my right hand side, where the drawing number is, it's actually put in the actual file name of that assembly. I can change that according to whatever I need to do. You see you've got this grid here, you've got numbers and letters, so if you had to talk to somebody over a phone or something and you wanted to talk about a particular area, you can use it like a grid reference system to do that. So I'm going to go over here and I see that I've got front, right, top, back, left, bottom, etc., diametric, isometric and trimetric, and also the current future. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to take the front view on there. I'm just going to click on it, hold it, and I'm going to drag it across. And you see already it's defaulted to the page scale, which is 1:2. And I'll show you how you can change that. So I'm just going to let that go about there. Okay, and if I just drag my mouse over to the left, it automatically creates a viewport there, and if I do it to the right, I get the same again, and if I do it to the top, I get corresponding views. Now these are all in third angle projection. There is also first angle. If you're doing a lot of work in the States, they tend to use first angle. It just means that everything is round the other way. So that view there would be over here, that view would be over there, etc. But for generally worldwide, third angle is widely acceptable. Okay, so I've now set up my main drawings. What I may want to do in a general arrangement is actually put in just a cross section for there. To do a cross section, if I go up to my tabs and I go up to the drawing tabs, and if you see section view, generally you wouldn't do this in a general arrangement, but you do it more in a component drawing. Maybe I'll leave that for now to go over. So I've got general arrangement there. If you wanted to add in a third view, you can do. To do that, I just go to escape. I know I've got problems here, but that's purely because I've cobbled together this picture just to try and demonstrate you. If I want to do another view on that side, I just go to projective view. If I click on that one there, and you can see the view comes out again, or if I go projective view again and click on that one, I should get that view there. It just works it out automatically on that. So I've got various views there. I might as well use the majority of them. So I just press escape to come out of that. So with a general arrangement, all you need to do is the overall dimensions. So this is just to give people an idea of scale. So to do that, I go to annotation, I go to smart dimensions, and if I zoom in, I'll just click on that line there. Okay, and I'll click on this bottom line here, and I have got a there. So I'm just going to do it here. Now, that is all I need. If I was doing component drawing, I could do more, but I'll just show you just for reference. So that's one. So I'm more than happy with that. If I was to do from there to there, which I can do, it just gives an idea of what's going on. Notice that if I go there, these will snap automatically to do it, and you need to kind of set out where your dimensions are going to go. So if I was to do this, which is not wrong, I normally like them to get them in the middle, but if I just drop that down there, okay, and I'm going to go back to this one here, and I'm going to do the same with that one, just to make it nice and consistent on there. So when you actually read them, all the dimensions in the same place, it kind of tidies up your drawing a little bit. So I'm going to pick, now sometimes you won't be able to get particular points to pick up on. I'll show you how to get around that in a second, but I'm just going to put one there, and I might not get a point here. Let's see if we can get a point. No. So I cheat slightly on there. If I go to my sketch tool, I go to my line tool, what I will do is just go up to there. I can pick a point there. I'll just drop a very small line there, like that. Okay, which you can hardly see on the drawing, but I know that that drawing, it's tangential to that point there. And I'll do the same on this little point here. It's not going to pick up on that, but I'm going to get as close as I can to there, and straight down. I don't think I can actually put a relation on that one there, or can I? No, I can't, but there is a relationship there. I would love a tangential relationship there. Let's go to about there. Bearing in mind that your dimensions are to 2 decimal places here, to have a 3 and a 5 is actually too much, but I'll show you how to sort that in a second. So all I'm going to do now is smart dimension. I'm going to pick up on that line there and that line there, and there we go to there. So it's probably about 115 mil on that there. So quite happy with that. I can change that, but what I can do is go into my menu on the left hand side here, and if it goes to tolerances protection, what I might do just for this one, maybe just agree to that. Let's just go on to here and go to 1 decimal place. You see it goes to 115, so I can change that according to what just to tidy things up a bit, because not everything is always that accurate. And what I can do again is go on to that one there, and same line there, and come down here. Now I could do that, but I quite like that as 86.5. It's telling me I don't need to do that because it's a driven point. I'll just OK that, do that for the moment. And you say it's actually greyed out. It's either 1 or 2. I'm not sure what's actually holding that at the moment, but I shall delete. Do I need to delete that? It's probably because of all this here that's going on. So I'm going to put these back up because it looks a little bit untidy at the moment. So I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to put this one in line with that one. And you can see it's starting to snap a little bit, which is good. Just keep it tidy. So these are kind of the overall dimensions. I could take that one and actually put that over there, which actually makes it a little bit more tidier for it. But I don't want to get too specific. I'm actually going to take that one out. So I've kind of got overall dimensions there. I need to get something like overall width. So if I just go back to my dimension tool, I'm going to do it on this one here. That's actually not, that's going on the width of the male or female on that. I don't actually want that, so be careful. I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to go for that one and that one. And notice I'm picking the lines and I bring that down 38.12. Now that height there for that I could actually put on this one. The other thing you want to have a look at, annotations, is centre marks, just as references. If I just click on there, it won't give me a centre mark, will it? No. What have I done? Let's just come out of that. I can put centre lines in, so centre of axes, etc. That's quite easy to do. It's not really appropriate for this one. The part of the reason that's probably not picking up on a centre is because it's not on that. Let me just try this one here. No, it doesn't want to do that one. I might be able to get that one. No. Yes, it has that one. So I know that's a hole there for a grub screw. Let's try. No, it just doesn't like that because it's probably looking at it and it's seeing it as not being round. But what I can do is pick up on that one. I can pick up on that one. On there. And if I wanted to put a centre line in, rather than centre mark, I come down. All you need to do for that is actually just pick both sides. There, it's done it already. And you'll notice there, if I just click on it and pull out, I have a centre line going down that way. Now, with those, I mean, that's basically all the dimensions I think I need at the moment. It just gives an idea as to what's what. Instead of me actually doing that there, I could import it to the centre of that there, because we will know what the diameter is. So if I just do smart dimension and I do a diameter on that, this is a little bit too much. I can then go smart dimension from that centre point there, maybe let's say to this centre point here. I didn't pick it up, did I? To that one there. Yeah, you see I've got, you can see that there. That's giving me an angle of 90 degrees. That's because it's freewheeling on that. I don't really want to do that. I wanted to pick up on the centre. So stick with what we said before. I'll take that one out for it. It's generally just having a sort of mix match of dimensions. Make sure that you have a datum point. Datum means yours kind of 0 point where you're going to measure everything from. For example, at the moment, if I just come out there, that line there is my datum for that dimension and this dimension. This one here is actually, I haven't done correctly. If I just delete that one, the datum should be that point there to that point there. And you'll notice that should not come over defined. So that's there. Let's change that to 1. Let's just agree to that, sorry. And just go to 1 decimal place, 86.4. I would like that to be 5, so I can actually go to none. And it goes up to 86 on that. So again, this is just to make sure that the dimensions are giving an overall perspective of what is what. What I would say is that one there, because it's greyed out, I'm going to change that. I'm going to delete that. Okay, and I'm going to go from there up to that top level there. That's a more precise one. Okay, and I can, if I just change that to 1 decimal place, yeah, 83.4, I can go to none on that one. It goes to 133 for it. And I can do the same with that there. So that's overall dimensions. If I wanted to get that height, obviously I can put that one back in to that there. I'm probably putting too many in here. Let's just change that to none, 149 mil. So you get the gist of laying that out. Just try and keep your stuff clear. I'm going to change that one as well, actually. I'm going to do that one to none. So 95. So it's basically giving that to somebody to say this is what I'm doing. To help them also, if I go back to drawing and I go to projected view or auxiliary view, one of the two, if I click on, sorry, if I come back, if I click on this one first and I go to auxiliary view, no, forget what I'm saying, sorry. If I go to projected view, I want a side view, there we go. There we go, I want to go up there. So I can put these in there. Okay, I could do another one or another one like so that. So I've got two there. Good thing about these ones, I can actually take that, move it over to say that top corner, and I can scale these down. So it gives the user, well, the person who's going to make this, an idea. And obviously these are too big. So if I click on that, hold Shift key down and click on that one there, and I go to scale box, and I go to use custom scale. Okay, that's gone up to 1:1. If I go to something like a 2:1 be that. If I go to 1:5, let's go slightly more, go 1:10. Has that gone down? No. Maybe that was 1:10, 1:20. It's not doing it, mate. Let's try again. Let's pick on that one. Sorry, that one. And that one again. It's still at 1:2. Let's go down to 1:10. Oh, that should have gone down. Let's do it one at a time. There we go. No. Okay, let's try that again. 1, 2. There we go. There's 1:10. That's too small. Let's go 1:5. That's about right. Or I could go to a bigger page, obviously, and I do that one. Is that going to go 1:10 for me? Or 1:5 it was. Yeah, there we go. So I've got two small pictures in the corner to allow the person to see what it looks like in a kind of isometric arena. Okay, so that's basic. I'm just going to put in a little bit more. Let's put a centre line in this one here, just so we know where our centre comes from. Centres basically are datums for you, so I'm just going to put that down. That's what you would do in a conventional drawing on that one. So that is the basic layout of a drawing. The other things you would do, if you just go back into annotation, you can put notes down. And if I put that in there, it comes up and you can choose whatever font. Well, there are particular fonts you want to use. We can talk about the actual drawing convention. I'm going to underline that. Oh, sorry. Just need to double it. It's the same as Word. Underline that. Come onto here, and I can go into one dot and whatever notes I want to put in. Let me just bring that out. You'll see this in the drawings I gave you anyway. 2 dots. You almost want to cover that. And then 3 dots on that. And my last one I always put in 4 dots. If in doubt, refer to 3D data or ask, exclamation mark on that one. So you'd have those notes, just click away. Okay, and you notice you get other notes, just press escape to get that. That's that on that one. And then to put elements into here, if you just, if I just right hand click and I go to edit sheet format, comes here, I can then go into this. So I've got assembly there. If I just double click it, it gives me that, so I can change that if I want to. But if I just go to note, it comes up, and if I just click in there, I don't actually want the arrow. You need to change the actual arrow it should, let me just do it, yeah, so just click in there and I put in something like, it says drawn, I'll put A, or I'll just put in GB, that's me, okay, and notice I've got other bits. I'm just going to put signature in that box there. So if I double click that, I can then go into here and I can bring that down, say to 10, which actually fits better. So I can just move that into about there. And if I want to do date, the easiest thing I find is actually to Control C, Control V, and then just lift that one into that there. Double click it, which I do on there, and I'll just change that into whatever today's date is. Let's go 9 hash 1225. That's a little bit long for that. So what I can do again is if I double click it, or then I'll just take that down another step to sort of 8 almost. See if I can put that down to 6. Yeah, so 6 is fine, and I'll just put that date in there. So I can copy and paste these. Again, if I just double click on that, Control C, Control V. Actually, no, I don't double click, just click on it, Control C, Control V. Go into drawn, and I'll put in there G brand, because that's me, obviously, and I'll just move that there. So I'm starting to populate this. You should also populate stuff like this. And I'm just going to double click that, not double click it, sorry, Control C, Control V. Where'd it go? Didn't. Okay, let's just click on it, Control C, Control V. I'm going to stick that up there, finish, and I would say yet to be specified, or I could say finished. There are particular finishes you can do, so let's just say matte finish. You can put a load of other meanings in there as well, but just to demonstrate the text on that one. If I take material, I can again click on that one again. So there are things. I don't know if I can just do that. Okay. And you can go in and change it. Control C, Control V. Come down here. I can put in there. Control V. I'll do another one. Just put that in there. So I can go back and just change this. If I say material, I'll just put various or refer to. So refer to drawing. Refer to drawing number and whatever number that is. I'll show you that another again, which way you put blues up on your exploded dot, but we can go through that. And then this one here, title, if it lets me do it, it's not going to do it. Let's go on there. No, it's going to preempt that one. No, it's gone out. Okay, let's go back in, take that one out. Right, let's go back into this one. There we go. That's better. Okay, let's go. What do we call it? The universal joint. Universal joint. And I'm going to make this one slightly bigger in size. Let's do that up to, let's go up to 16. I'll make it bold because it is the title. And I'm just going to center it. And there we go. I can put revision 1, etc. So it's just to look at these and make sure that scales 1 to 2. Let me just get rid of that one. And then when I'm happy, I've done everything. I just click that one there, and now I have the basics of my general arrangement drawing. Title would be G. Actually, I need to put that in. So if I just go back into here, go to Edit Sheet Format, and double click on that, and put GA, Universal Drawing. Okay, that is the very, very basics of laying out a general arrangement drawing. There should ideally also have the third angle projection symbol put in, but actually the layout is third angle, so don't worry about that for the time being. We can operate that later on. In the next video I'll go on to actually doing a component drawing for that, because there's a little bit more detail to that, but the principle is the same. Good.